Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. If you're looking for a really nice scent to rock today, I got you. And we're going to start with the queen of Valentine's Day, Noir de Noir by Tom Ford. Now, this is Valentine's Day in a bottle. This was somewhat of the inspiration for this video besides my girlfriend, but this smells like roses. It smells like the most luxurious dark chocolate, and there's a little bit of wine in the background. You know, you're trying to wine and dine your date, your partner, your significant other, and you want a fragrance that isn't really smelled that often. And to be honest, even though Tom Ford private blend fragrances are pretty popular, I do feel like this is still significantly underrated, especially for the way that it smells. It's just something that is very likable, but you hardly smell it on anybody. And I know that this video is mainly about Valentine's Day, but I do think this is a fantastic signature scent as well, especially if you live in cold weather. But what I like about Noir de Noir is it remains very intimate. Now, people can complain that it doesn't have the best projection or the best performance, but with a fragrance like this, I think that it's better when it's only really noticed by yourself and your partner. When somebody really is all up in your business, maybe snuggling into your neck, and they just catch this wafting off of you, I think that it's a little bit more romantic. And by the way, this is a unisex fragrance. I do see more women gravitate to it, but for all the guys watching, I do think you can easily pull this off, okay? If you do wear this, it's gonna smell very romantic. It has very much Casanova vibes to it. So if that's kind of who you are, you're a smooth talker a little bit, then I think you're gonna smell great with Noir de Noir. And by the way, I'll put the discount link for all these fragrances for global shipping in the description box below, and that is an affiliate link if you do want to support the channel. But of course, please buy where you're comfortable, all right? The next fragrance is an MFK scent called Grand Soir. Now, Grand Soir is an amber vanilla fragrance, and this is pretty good in terms of performance. I have never had a less than 8-hour day with Grand Soir. It is something that's just very cozy, it's warm, and it's a sort of scent profile that it's either you really love it, or you know what? No, I'm not even gonna say that. I was gonna say you either really love it or you hate it, but there are people that do find this to be an okay fragrance. But if you love amber and vanilla, if that's your weakness and you're kind of looking for a bit of a thick fragrance, it smells great. This smells great. Let's say you and your date are going for a little walk in the park late at night, not late at night, but around the evening time, you know, the sun is setting. This is a really nice fragrance because it's so warm, you know, it's just like it wraps you up in a big hug. If you're wearing a nice sweater, it smells good. This fragrance right here, when I did wear it, people would really just like give me those long hugs because it was just something that they wanted. It was like addicting to their noses. So Grand Soir MFK, a great fragrance, also unisex. Okay, the next one, I think all of these are unisex. There might be a couple that I'll specify to you which, well, yeah, for the most part, these are niche fragrances. But we got Almonds by Kajal Perfumes. And even though this is marketed as a unisex fragrance, I do think this leans a little bit more on the feminine side, but a guy can easily pull this off if he wanted to. Fruity. It just smells so fruity and lovely, but it's not fruity citrusy, okay? It's not something that I see as a summertime sexy fling sort of fragrance. This one is a bit romantic, and that's what I noticed with all the fragrances that I picked out, is that they really kind of have romance to the core of them. And I think that Almonds is just beautifully done, and the florals and the fruitiness here doesn't smell synthetic at all. It's just something that you want to keep smelling over and over and over again, and this thing lasts, okay? Especially if you spray this on clothes, if you spray this on your bed, you spray this on your bed. I'm going to say it twice. If you spray this on your bed, fantastic, okay? This thing just will not go away. So if you want something that's going to be burned into their brains, you want that scent that they're never going to forget, you throw on Almonds and it's the end of the story right there. And we're talking over 10 hours of performance with this fragrance. The next fragrance is called Black Saffron by Byredo. And this, similar to Noir de Noir, is more of an intimate fragrance in comparison to Grand Soir and Almonds. This one smells like raspberry. There's this very luxurious saffron note, and then it also has leather in the base. Now the leather here is so good because typically leather doesn't smell that fantastic in fragrances to me. It doesn't. smells like used car seats, and I'm just really not about it. But the leather here, I totally get the sex appeal of it. Now, Black Saffron, it's one of those fragrances that awakens women in the strangest type of ways. Whenever I talk about this online, in particular with TikTok, the comment section is just flooded with women just having their sexual awakenings with this fragrance. Whether they wear it, whether their partners wear it, this is super unisex. It has a bit of a vibe, like this badass kind of vibe to it, a daredevil vibe, you know? And you know how people get with that trope when there's somebody that's just a little bit dangerous and a little bit intimidating, they become just a tad bit more attractive. And that's what Black Saffron is. It isn't something that's loud and obnoxious about it, but it's almost like the classy, devilish, like charming badass, you know, again, very unisex fragrance right here. In terms of performance, I'm going to say it's noticeable for like 6 hours. I'm not saying it goes completely off your skin after 6, but you will have to kind of put your nose to the fragrance just to kind of see that it still remained there. But again, it just remains closer to your skin. Okay. The 5th fragrance is actually more of a feminine scent. It's called Instant Crush. Now, this is marketed as a unisex fragrance, so don't let that discourage you if you're a guy that wants to try this. But it's like a, what is it? How do I say it? Like a cotton candy-ish sort of fragrance, really. This, I get a lot of comparisons with this and Baccarat Rouge 540, and I see that. Do I think they smell exactly the same? No. But they kind of follow in like the same path, you know? So if Baccarat is a bit too pricey and you still want a nice niche fragrance that's gonna blow everyone away, you will get that reaction with Instant Crush. This is the type of DNA that people just fall in love with off of first sniff. I have not met a person yet that has smelled this in my collection and hasn't been wowed by this scent. So if you're thinking to yourself, oh, things like Baccarat, things like Instant Crush are overrated, everybody wears them, blah, 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 the public differs, okay? Because yes, in the fragrance world, those things are very, very popular. And sure, they're gaining some popularity to the general public, but still when people smell this, they just fawn over it, all right? So I know I said in the beginning, I read this as more of a feminine fragrance. I still kind of do, but that opinion is also, it also kind of has the bias because a lot of the people that talk to me about this, that wear this, are women. But if you actually smell this as a standalone scent, if you're a guy that likes sweet fragrances, it's easily something that you can pull off. Okay, now, don't fall. Now the 6th fragrance here is actually my scent of the day. It's Rejoice by Algabra. Now, I was talking to my girlfriend last night and I said, it's Valentine's Day tomorrow. What do you want to be my scent of the day and then my scent of the night? And she's like, for your scent of the day, I want you to wear Rejoice, and then I want you to layer it with Molecule 1. I was like, are you serious? Rejoice is already an extrait de parfum. This fragrance will last all day. Okay, do I even need a scent of the night at that point? And then to top that off, she said she wanted Molecule 1 on top of it to really enhance it. So I was just kind of like, are you sure about that? Because this is a powerhouse, and she's like, I am sure about it. So she really does love this fragrance. Again, very unisex. If you're somebody that's tried Almonds, but you find it maybe a bit too feminine for your liking and you want something a bit more down the middle, then Rejoice would be your best bet. And this just smells like fruity, heavenly paradise. It is a romantic fragrance. And it's also, it smells like, kind of like a rich, wealthy scent. You know, it smells like a humble, successful person, in my opinion. It is something that is loud. It's not obnoxious and annoying and cloying, but it makes its presence known. And honestly, the smell in this thing is just so like high quality. You know what I mean? It's like once you smell it, I remember the first time that I smelled it, I was blown away with how just like high quality this fragrance was. And I still think it's very gorgeous till this day. So I am gonna have to layer this after this video with Molecule 1. And I'm only gonna do 1 spray of this thing. Okay, like I said, it's an extrait de parfum. It's gonna perform pretty much all day if I do more than 3 sprays of it. So if I do wanna have a scent of the night, I am only gonna do 1 spray of this with Molecule 1. But the other example I've given to Rejoice is picturing the Greek gods and goddesses in Mount Olympus being hand-fed grapes. You know, like the grapes, and then people are just like fanning them with the palm tree leaves, stuff like that. That's what I envisioned when I smelled this fragrance right here. So it's just almost like this, like I said, like unworldly, heavenly, fruity fragrance, and it smells fantastic. All right. Next is a gourmand scent. Now this is for people that want to get ate up on. Okay, this is called Madeline. Madeline by Musk Milano, and this fragrance revived my opinion on this brand. This is only the second fragrance I've tried from Musk Milano. The other one I tried, Tango, was not it. I could not stand that fragrance, and the top of it was so hard to open. I was like, what the hell is going on here? So the whole experience was just not what I enjoyed at all. But this scent, it's crazy because it's not a coffee fragrance, but it almost smelled like fresh coffee to me, like fresh coffee, vanilla. I know there's a lot of like oil, I believe, listed in this fragrance. It is something that is strong. Okay, a couple sprays of this, not like it's gonna be you, your partner, and everybody else around you that will be smelling you, but it is like a divine, sweet scent. You know, if you live where it's snowing right now and you just want that fragrance that's gonna be strong enough to push through the night, and you wanna smell edible, you wanna smell mouth-watering, you want your partner to almost kind of be like salivating over you at that point, Madeline is so good. This reminds me, actually, I don't know if it's the smell of it, but you know those Madeline cookies? Like the really soft ones? I used to go through those like back in college and high school. Like those things, I would just boom, boom, like pop them one after the other. They're so good. But anyways, this scent right here, maybe it's because I'm thinking about the cookies that it smells like it too. But this thing's good. Really nice gourmand fragrance that makes people act up. It is unisex, but typically when it comes to sweet fragrances, more women are open to trying them than guys are. But I'm not going to stop that from me saying that this is a unisex fragrance, all right? So the next one is a feminine scent, and this is called Valea by Parfums de Marly. And this thing did a whole 180 on me. I loved that I documented what I felt about this fragrance during the times that I did, because in the very beginning, you guys saw that I liked it right off the first spray, and then it just went downhill. I was like, yo, what the hell, right? Even for 6-7 hours, I'm like, this fragrance is not it. It went too white floral on me, and it opened with bergamot. It had this woody note to it, and then there was a little bit of white floral, and then the white floral dominated those 6 to 7 hours. Then I didn't like it. Then after that 7th hour, it's almost like this fragrance took on a second life. I was surprised that it was like staying on my skin, and that hours later I was able to smell it, but it smelled like the opening, just more subdued, right? There was more of that musk that kind of came through, and I'm like, oh shit, this thing smells good. So I tested it again, and still there is that period with those white florals, but the end result of this is just a really nice, almost kind of like springtime picnic fragrance. So if you're living where it's warmer right now and you're going on a picnic for Valentine's Day, then throw on Valea. It's gonna smell good. And if you are somebody that likes white florals in general, then this is just gonna check all the boxes for you. So really good scent, and this does perform over 10 hours. I was very surprised with how this kind of took on again, but this has really, really good performance. Okay, now this one is going to be my scent of the night. This is called Jet Black Reserve by Michael Malone, and this was my girlfriend's recommendation to me for tonight. I said, remember, pick my scent of the day, pick my scent of the night. And she was like, it has to be Jet Black Reserve. And look, I know I said I was going to gatekeep, but I'm not going to gatekeep right now. So if you do watch this video, you're lucky, because when I first unboxed 3 Michael Malone fragrances, I didn't specify which one was my favorite, because, you know, I was like, dang, maybe I should just kind of keep this one as my hidden gem. But I'm going to tell you right now that this is the one that I've been using the most. I love this thing so much. I know there's a lot of flankers of Jet Black. They've got Enigma. They've got Intense. I haven't tried Enigma. I have tried Intense. Intense isn't it, but Reserve is so sexy. Okay, this fragrance, especially on clothes, smells so damn good. Oh my God, I could not get enough of this. And I will say, even the first time that my girlfriend smelled this on me, she went wild over it, right? To a point that I actually gave her a sample of it, that whenever she wants to think of me, she could spray it on like this sweater that I gave her pretty much. So like it just reminds her of me. But this has gotten a lot of positive reactions, not just from her, but other people around me. Just cannot get enough of Jet Black Reserve. But anyways, don't bother with this fragrance, okay? Just leave this scent for me and everybody will remain happy. And the last one is another gourmand fragrance that I tried recently. This is called Sweet Tonka by Precious Liquid. Now, if you watch that video that I did, those other Precious Liquid scents were not it. I was not messing with them. I did not like them, but this one I could get with. Now, Sweet Tonka smelled like those strawberry cream hard candies. That is how it smelled on my clothes. And even as time passed, it still smelled like that. So if that's what you're looking for, maybe like a sexy strawberries and cream sort of smell, you know what I mean? Then Sweet Tonka is a great bet for you. I don't know the names of those candies. Maybe it's like Sweet Savers. I can't think of it. But y'all know what it is. It's like it has the pink and then it's like pink, white, and it's almost like rectangular, or is it like an oval shape? Damn, I can't remember the shape of them right now. But it smells like that tastes, you know? So typically for me, Tonka bean is not the move because Tonka bean gets a bit too powdery. I haven't really found a fragrance that I really vibe with it, but this one I do like. Now, this is something that I would much rather prefer on my girlfriend because like I said, if you want a fragrance that's going to get people kind of, you know, salivating, something that's going to be mouth-watering, you want that gourmand scent that's just going to have them hooked, then Sweet Tonka, fire choice. All right, again, I'll put the discount link for all these fragrances in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching and let me know what your scent of the day is, and I hope you have a lovely Valentine's Day. Take care. Bye.